Okay, we're back in the booth here for um, a fifth, sixth round matchup between Mr. Larry Kressel, manager, a regular, long-time high-grade player here in Richmond, Virginia, versus Shane Buchanan, who comes off a semifinal winner's side loss to Mr. James Blackburn from North Carolina. And we're here at the Diamond Billiard Room in the Browns Mechanical Open. And this is going to be a one-loss side, race to 7. The big game is 9-ball. The 9-ball does not count on the break. This is the Action Pool Tour. George Hammerbacher, voice of the Action Pool Tour. Advanced level instructor, Professional Billiard Instructor Association out of Baltimore, Maryland. Call the action for you here. Larry, with a characteristic baseball cap, breaks in a couple of balls and has a bank on the one. We're a safety behind the balls, which Larry is a very, very adept one-pocket player. One of the better players in this region here. Known him since he was a real young man, real good player, even 15, 18 years ago when I first saw him. And he's manager here, bartender, what have you. Hell of a house man, that's for sure. Good player. This is Shane on the left. He's gonna jump the one, and oh, he gets the kiss in the Nirvana land there. Larry will just come off this bottom rail and send the one up table. That would be what I might suspect, unless he can go up and okay. Larry is a very, very heady, steady sort of a player. Seldom beats himself. He beat Sean Wilkie last night. My man James Blackburn comes up. I was having a heart attack watching him from the bleachers. He's in the hot seat match against Brandon Schuff that is probably going to come up after this game is concluded, match is concluded. Shane plays a safety. I don't know if Larry can see any of this ball, but the double kiss is a definite possibility if he can thin it, because it's almost straight in the pocket, and most of those are a lot of chance of being a double kiss. He might be able to make it. I can't tell from either the camera angle or the vantage point of seeing it. Sure. That's a solid shot there. Maybe a little too far. quite get the angle he might have desired on the 4. If he'd have been straighter, he would have been allowed to put the cue ball behind the 9, and it kind of drifted out and gave Shane a hit on the 4 ball and a good potential safety play. This is a set to 7. These gentlemen both have 1 loss. Loser of this goes home 5th, 6th, and the winner is 4th. That was maybe not exactly what he wanted, but Larry might try to thin cut this ball, a lot of spin, and leave it safe. Oh, he parks his pelota. That's one of the features of having ultra tight pockets. It's also harder to scratch. This is to get this first game. It's big. This is alternate break, and he might have to come around and try to get behind the 6. Oh, he's going to slow roll it and tease Larry with a bank. But Larry's a real good one-pocket man, and this is at least a two-way shot to play the bank and the safe at the same time, and the shape. Double kissed it. But Larry was playing the safe as well, and he made a very reasonable effort there. I'm George Hammerbacher, voice of the Action Tour, and Shane might have a little purple paint looking at him, I'm not sure. This purple ball might be pink if they keep swatting it. He did the best he could do. I'm sure these guys have played a few times. They're both local to this pool room. Good pool room this time in Billiards. It's on US Route 60, the Midlothian Turnpike, west of Richmond. A few miles, but well, outstanding place. Hosted many action pool tour and Virginia State Championship events in 8-ball, 10-ball, 9-ball. There's no real reward here to make this ball unless you can get shape. Good try. Larry is very patient. He plays one pocket and plays it well. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna give up a shot sooner or later. Oh, looks like the Sooner came into play. Shane caught the point. That wasn't what he expected. And Larry has a real legitimate opportunity now. No, he did. Might be safe behind the 9 ball. I don't know, I think he's going to shoot at this ball. Very representative effort there. Larry's going to have to spin kick off the long rail. Might make it in the side. That's just what he's looking at. He does have a potential play at it. Oh, tasty. Shane has to get the jump rod out again. Check the wind currents over the 7. This diamond billiard room has great food, terrific atmosphere. They have junior leagues, tournaments, leagues. Very much a hotbed. Well, Larry moved Shane into a shot there finally, and now he's going to have to take advantage of this one. No. That was far from his best effort. Boy, these boys are getting all the misses out of their system in this first game. That was tasty. Shane concedes the game to Larry, and Larry takes a 1-0 lead in this 5th-6th round matchup. The other 5th-6th round matchup is going on right now as we speak between Mr. Shorty Davis and Chris Bruner, back across on the other side of the room. The losers of this match and that match will be 5th-6th money, and then there'll be 4 left playing for 3rd and 4th, the 2 survivors of this match and that match. Then you have Brandon Schuff and James Blackburn going to come in the hot seat match. That'll lock 1st and 3rd in, guaranteed. These guys are both moving up the scale a couple $100 at a time, and it's an important match for both of them. This is a real thin cut, and He's going to have to turn his nugget loose. Might have to play safe from here. Can't get crazy. Short sets like this, alternate break, it's tough to come back if you dig a hole for yourself. Well, I think Larry has got to take the air route. I might be mistaken. These are 4.5 by 4.5 inch diamond pockets and balls in there deep. It's sometimes hard to rail first these balls because the ball's in deep. It was possible, but very tough shot. Here's Shane's opportunity. Roll to the 4 in the side pocket, I think. Got to get his line of sight here as to where he has to travel down to the 4 so he can go up table to the 5. That's no good. Hit on the wrong side of the ball almost. It was a whole lot less than desirable. They're grinding a little bit, these two gentlemen. They both, Shane played beautifully last night in the match that we televised. That's about all he could do. Got to make a ball now. When you get that distance, you lose that fine speed control. Other sponsors of the Action Tour include Q Sports International, CSI. No, never even cut the ball. We also have Predator cues and products. They make more than just high-tech cues and shafts. They make all sorts of equipment, chalk, gloves, cases, you name it. We have Tiger products. That little kiss gave Shane, excuse me, a look at that ball from no look. This might be a good one. These two guys know each other well. They play here all the time, these two gentlemen. Swish. Here's Shane's chance to get pulled back to even in this contest. A little short on the speed. Should be okay. Got to pinch it off with a lot of high right English. That's a natural for him. Come around 2 cushions with high left. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he's all right. Shane evens the count at 1 game apiece. Other sponsors of the action, excuse me, sponsors of the Action Pool Tour include Kamui Products, that's Kamui Chalk, Tips, choice of players worldwide. These folks are playing on a diamond pro table with 4.5-inch corner pockets and very, very demanding. On Simonis 860 tournament blue cloth with Aramith Pro Cup balls, all standards in the industry. We also have there, that was a sweet little kiss Larry got on that 1 ball. He 2 ball just knocked it out enough so he could play it in the side pocket and have a potential scoring opportunity in front of him. Beautiful touch. Very nice shot there. The 3 to the 5 is the key position in this. That looks real good, I think. He gets to roll up to the 5. He's getting his line of sight. Follow forward about 6 inches. Ideal. He's right in line there. Fade to the 6 in the same hole. A little short there. He's gonna have to play a smooth shot, use the 9 as a backstop. Excellent natural angle across. Perfect. Sweet. Good out from Larry Kressel. He takes a 2-1 lead. Very nice out from Larry. Very, very more or less precise, and the position he played was as good as it gets. And he's a real good player, folks. Not to knock his game, but he's one of the better players in this Central Virginia, Richmond area. Is as good as any. Larry has a 2-1 lead over Mr. Shane Buchanan. Oh, I think he's okay. He might be on Lake Titicaca. Whether that's got him strangled by the two ball. I think he might be hooked. If so, he can push out. But I think he's got to push out, looking at his demeanor and what he's doing with his body. Push out along the rail. Larry might avail himself of this if he can beat the kiss on the 7 or the 5 across the table. So it's going to come close to the 5. Well done. That was a tougher shot from that long distance to get the combination of precision and speed that you need. A tough shot. Well, it's like Shane is back to the ducking behind the 7. Didn't hit it, I don't think. Larry was fortunate. He might still kick the side rail. Anyway. I don't know how much draw he can get on it to bring it back. The 8 ball might have a chunk of him on this one for sure. Nice hit there. Good safety play there. Larry's going to hit the point and skull out. Yeah, he'll take it. Two railer or one railer or 3 railer. I like the 3 railer. Larry gets fortunate. He hits the point coming back and hooks Shane on top of the 8. I like him coming around 2 or 3 cushions behind the 5 and sending it up table and keeping the cue ball down table and keeping the cue ball up table. That's what we're just looking at. I think that's his option. Some left-hand running English, I'm sure. He got in between the two paths and fired it wide. Larry buys ball in hand here. I wouldn't set up to reach over this ball. But then the 8 ball is in the 2-rail path. This is the shot. Oh, he almost missed it. Good shot. Look out. Look out. Hit both points. Larry takes a 3-1 lead. That was a good solid break from Larry. He has a reasonable opportunity here. He's going to have a lot of travel on a cue ball from the 1 to the 2, but he's got a nice angle. He might have to come straight down the table and avoid the 6 ball or the 3. Over chipped it. Rolling to the short side. Still left Shane nothing but half a hit maybe, or a kick off the top rail. That looks like that's about all. to see what he can come up with here. This could give him a nice natural shape on the 3. Not the easiest of shots, but it's makeable. That'll play. He's going to have to come around and beat the 6 ball and the 7 ball. Oh, no good. It came off a little short. He says, yeah. Yeah. I guess you can't tell what the result was. Kick and stick. I can't even look that way, Shane. Gonna have to go with the chalk there, son. Cross table. I think he can get in there. That would be a surprise. He might be able to with a lot of left-hand spin. Oh no, he had it pretty good. Might lift this rail first. But going across the ball, he might go in that corner pocket. Over chip to cheddar. Might have Larry an opening here.
I've got my fair share.
Larry says, I've got my fair share of the rolls, I would think. No hit.
It's blind.
He's blind, he says. Well, I don't know about that, but this couldn't be a more ideal spot for that 5-ball today. Just roll this 4 in. Oh, careless mistake here. Balls are coming off real sharp today. I'll be back, folks.
Shorty Davis on up to 6th place finish. Knocking off Sean Wilkie yesterday. Great turn to Shorty.
Good solid hit from Larry, but did leave an open shot for Shane. Tails from the short side, but Better the short side, no side. Over chip to cheddar. Oh. These are 4.5-inch diamond pockets. Both these young men play here all the time. They more than know the tables. Oh, back cut the ball. Sort of indifferently, I might add. It's a big game, 4-2 or 5-1 in a set to 7. He kind of casualed that 3 ball. Left distance, that's all you can do. Sometimes you get lucky and hide them as well, but they can shoot out from here all day long. Unless it's Earl Strickland. Another hanger. That's ideal. He might get to straight in on the 6 along the rail. That would be what he'd like. It looks pretty good. Just draw it straight back. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to play the high right running ball and stroke it. Hard shot. All he could do, could have spun it more maybe, but good stroke from Kressel. Larry takes a 5-1 lead over Mr. Shane Buchanan. I believe coming up in the next match is going to be our hot seat match featuring Brandon Schuff against James Blackburn. Next month, the Action Pool Tour will be down in Newport News, Virginia at the Peninsula Billiards for a bar box event for 10 ball at Peninsula Billiards in Newport News. Always a nice stop. Mike and all, they have good food down there, and they have the bar tables set impeccably. They have plenty of room between the tables, and always a fun stop. We'll see more of our Virginia Beach crew down there at that event. This is this Q Sports International has a product called Magic Rack, and that even on tremendous equipment like we have here at Diamond Billiards, the balls get pock marks in the cloth and get very difficult to get a good clean rack on. And you saw Larry struggling with that. That's a Q Sports International. It saves the wear on the table. I have one on mine back in Baltimore, and 7 years ago I had that cloth recovered, and I still get a perfect rack. I don't have any pock marks, and I confess haven't used it all the time, but still, it still saved the wear and tear. Straight in on the 3 in the side. This is a huge game. Shane needs to win this and put on a win streak here. Just lob it in. It's a speed shot. It's got to hit this ball bottom right and real soft, and just curl that deuce in like that. It's ideal. You like to get straight in on the 4, pretty much. Oh, he might be on Lake Titicaca. I think he's all right. The 4's out there enough, but he wanted to be straight in on the 4. He didn't want this. It'll do. Send him to the rail, though. Now he's just got to lob this ball in and take whatever he gets on the 7 and start to survive some of these racks. He's going to jack up on it. I don't know. Oh, boy, that was strong. That was a good shot. This is where you got to watch the speed, because this is a little faster angle than he might have liked. Yep. Can't leave Larry stuff like this. Larry is a very, very effective counter-attacking type player, and he knows how to pounce on mistakes as good as any. And this is, he just bounce off the rail and get straight in on this ball. Shane concedes it. He looks disturbed. Larry Kressel's on the hill, and Larry wins this. He's guaranteed 4th money, and as the old saying goes, the more the merrier. That's a good solid shot. Yes, sir. But he's got a lot of pocket billiards to play from here. The 4 ball is tucked in behind the 6 and doesn't have very good access to it. 3 ball is maybe a hair too tough to get any real spin on the ball. We cut it in the side. This is the That's an excellent shot there. That's as good as he could have hit, I think. Maybe the 6 has got him. That was sweet. Couldn't control the 4. Headed into potentially the condemned man ate a hearty meal. Just draw it over around that chalk over there, or spin it over. Oh, but not yet. Larry gives the game up, and Shane gets a call from the governor there. Fortunately, the warden was taking phone calls. The warden was taking phone calls, and Shane is still has some breath left, but it's going to take a combination of great play, luck, and Larry's poor play to get Shane back to this contest, though. And Larry doesn't usually play poorly. He'll miss a ball like you see, but this is the Browns mechanical 9-ball event at Diamond Billiards. This is stop number 6. Good solid break from Larry, but nothing home, and Shane has a real nice opportunity to start stroking some balls and getting some stroke. I talked to Paul Brown, the owner of the Browns Mechanical, last night, and real nice guy, avid pool player around here, and we're grateful for his sponsorship this year on the Action Tour. Also, Dr. Dave Hunt of Hasselman and Hunt Family Dentistry here in Richmond. Thanks a bunch, Dave. Dave got 7th and 8th. Says he's going to come back and play more. Well, you gotta make those balls though, that's for sure. Cross bank probably. Well, I slapped it around.
I don't know, it just looks like the vibe, like, what they're looking for, so that's all. I was just making sure, like I said, I don't know what
That was a good hit all the way. You did change the furniture arrangement in the basement there. Watch the 9. Oh, how's the speed, Trooper? No good. Well, if you turn it loose, it'll cook your goose. If you let it fly, it'll make you cry. Because you gotta twist it, you can't fist it. Well, he's going to try to go all the way, spin behind the 7. But as the Bible says, many are called and few are chosen. Well, I don't know. I can hear the faint sound of the tumbrils rolling down the streets of Gay Paris. Those horse-drawn carts that took the aristocrats to the guillotine. This could be it here. Might just have to just shoot and stop right there. He'd like to come 2 cushions to the 7, or 1 rail to the 7 in the side. Straight up the gut of the table. Ah, how's the speed, Trooper? Lots of left and that'll work, but you got to get the rake for goodness sake. Oh, he's got it. As I end the refrain, where's Cyrano when you need him? Is the warden taking any more phone calls? Not today. He's at lunch, off with the heads, and that's it. Larry Kressel takes down Mr. Shane Buchanan by the score of 7 games to 2. Shane gets 5th, 6th money and gets and has a good tournament. Played great yesterday. Took 2 tough losses today. One to James Blackburn earlier, and now this one. But he had a good tournament. He's a gentleman, works for a living. He had a good tournament. Okay, we'll be up with the hot seat match in a few moments, folks, featuring Mr. Brandon Schuff, playing out of Diamond Billiards here, and James Blackburn from North Carolina.